this episode of the Kulturecast, I'm joined once again by my good friend Yashar Pirasteh from across the pond, and a new guest to the show. And him and I talk like once a week at least already as it is. But this is more of an interesting outlet for you, Mr. Performing Artist Andy Gnosis, because you and I talk about horror movies a lot, but we never record it.
Yeah, we do.
Like way more than we should. Yeah, half of our discussions verge in that way.
Yeah.
But since the audience may not know you, Andy, tell my audience a little bit about you, Mr. Andy Gnosis.
Right. Well, I'm a singer, songwriter, performer. Most people know me from America's Got Talent. That was about 10 years ago now. My name wasn't Andy Gnosis at the time. Now it is. But most people don't even recognize me for the name. They just know the image, and I was that quote unquote goth opera singer. So that's what people know me for. Yeah,
it's when you and I started working together, that was one of the videos that you sent was like goth opera singer, and I was like, holy shit, what is this? But I think I think you are slowly figuring it out, and I'm just sitting and watching you figure it out and helping when I can, obviously.
Right.
But then, our conversations verge into horror movies, which is something that you and I, it's very much a shared interest.
Yeah, most of the time, if not all the time.
Yeah. We always kind of veer back into movies. And so when Scream 5 came out, it came out, what, in like October of last year?
No, it came out like January.
Oh,
January.
God, really? Okay. I thought, man, this year has already felt like 6 months, I swear to God. It really has, because, like, I honest to God thought this movie came out last year, but it's only been January. That was 2 months ago.
Well, Halloween Kills was in October.
Oh.
Maybe that's why.
No, because I would never conflate this with Halloween Kills, because this movie's actually good.
Ooh.
No, we already did an episode on Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills is not a good film.
I saw the one before that, and that was pretty good. But it seemed like they killed him pretty clearly, so I wasn't really sure how Halloween Kills worked. But
oh well, why don't you find out on Peacock Plus for $5?
Not good. I do want to watch Fresh. Have you guys seen that one yet?
Yes, I did.
Is that good?
I liked it with Sebastian Stan. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Although you're supposed to go into it not knowing what it's about, and because I knew what it was about, it wasn't as shocking as everyone was saying. But I found it to be very satisfying, a little disturbing.
Ooh, that's good. I do consider myself a stan for Sebastian. So,
wow, get out! Get out of here! I'll bring you back for dad jokes. You don't even have a kid. I stand for Sebastian. On this episode of the Kulturecast, we are going to be talking about Scream 2022, or if you're a person who's seen the other Scream movies, Scream 5. Though I guess it's as equal a title either way.
Right.
This isn't funny, Amber.
Would you like to play a game, Tara?
Doors unlocked. All doors locked. Doors unlocked.
Hello?
It's happening. 3 attacks so far. Do you have a gun?
I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Something about this one just feels different.
Samantha?
I know who you are.
I've been through this a lot. This is your life now, which means that whoever this is going to keep coming for you. You ready for this? Never.
Oh, stop. Wait. There's certain rules to surviving.
attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
Whatever his link is to our past, it's pulled us all back here. And I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
So we will be talking spoilers. So just a heads up, if you haven't seen the movie yet, this is your moment to stop and go watch it. But before we talk spoilers, Andrew, would you suggest someone who has seen Scream before watch it and someone who hasn't seen Scream before watch it? Because it's kind of a two-part question for this kind of movie.
I mean, yeah, obviously. I'm a huge fan of the Scream films. So Scream 5 or Scream 2022. I enjoyed it. So already a fan, it would make a lot of sense to see it. Not a fan yet. Watching it out of order wouldn't make any sense. At least I don't think so. But yeah, I would recommend it.
What about you, Yashar?
Yeah, I definitely recommend. If you've seen the other ones, for sure. If you have, you don't even need to have seen all the other ones. Really, the other ones to understand the story are probably the first one and the fourth one.
Really, the fourth one?
Yeah, that's kind of true, though.
Yeah, no, the fourth one, the sheriff carries through.
Oh, okay, but yeah,
the marriage of Dewey and Gail.
Yeah, but if you don't watch the fourth movie, it doesn't matter anyways. They're broken up.
No,
I mean,
no, I'm just saying.
I know. I get what you're getting at, though. 2
and 3, other than Randy being dead, almost have no impact on 5. 1 has the most. 4 probably has the second most.
And I would wager that Scream, that the next movie may draw more from Scream 2 and 3 than this one did.
Maybe.
There are more characters in those movies that could come back. Well, actually, not in Scream 2. Not in Scream. I guess not really in Scream 3 either, huh? Jesus.
Bring back the cameraman in Scream 2.
I do like the cameraman in Scream 2.
He was good. Yeah, they killed off everyone in Scream 3.
Yeah, where did he go?
He just midway through. He's like I'm out of here. He's like he just walks off.
He could come back theoretically.
Well, he does show up at the end and says, "I figured we could shoot like old times," and it's like, you mean last night?
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
As for me, I think, like you mentioned, Yashar, I think Scream 5, if you're a fan of this series, you're going to watch this movie. So, that kind of is almost an unimportant question to answer. But I think the question to answer about whether or not, if you've never seen Scream before, you could enjoy this, I think that this gives the audience enough backstory without having, like, an exposition dump character in the way of, like, let's say that Godzilla vs. Kong movie where you have a character that's just like, and then this has happened, and then this has happened, and then this has happened since the last movie, which that movie, like, had at least 1 or 2 characters like that. This movie doesn't have that. This movie almost has one scene that I think goes too far. I think it's a scene that, like, it gets right up to the edge and looks into the void, and then...
What scene?
It's this. Well, we'll talk about it, but I think for most people, this Scream reboot, requel, whatever you want to call it, I think it does enough for a new audience member to come in, and I think that's almost the point. I think the intention of this movie, I would say, if you speak to the 2 directors, their idea would be, we want to reintroduce the Ghostface character to a new audience while bringing in the old characters, which are coming. I mean, they're on the poster, so it's not a surprise. But again, in this movie, they don't lean on them enough to really make me say, well, you have to watch everything else. Because they clue you in as to who they are. I think in a good enough way. And when we talk spoilers, we'll talk more about it. But so let's talk about spoilers. Let's talk about the movie. So this is a Scream movie, and so what happens in a Scream movie? Well, Ghostface shows up, kills some people. Neve Campbell, Courteney Cox, and David Arquette are drawn back in once again, along with a whole new group of people, one of which who happens to be Billy Loomis's, unknown to everybody up until this point, his daughter, played by Melissa Barrera. And she plays the pretty on-point named Sam Carpenter, as opposed to Billy Loomis the first time. They're pretty tongue-in-cheek, like, get it? John Carpenter. So now that we're talking spoilers, Andrew, What are your kind of thoughts on the movie when you first saw it? Watching it again, kind of what's your take on the movie? More spoilery than last time.
Right. I mean, just like the original, it's very self-aware. It didn't feel like I was being beat over the head with references, but it's funny you brought up her name because that was the only time I rolled my eyes so fucking hard.
Oh, really? It is like, a little like, it is maybe, again, it's like a little too on the nose, like for its own good.
Yeah, because prior to introducing herself in the car, they referenced how their storyline and experiences were similar to the film Halloween, which means the film Halloween exists in their universe.
Right.
So she would kind of notice that her name was the same as famed horror director John Carpenter.
And her dad's name is similar to famed killer of Michael Myers, Dr. Loomis. Yeah.
So, but I guess that was just stuff for like older fans to be like, that's kind of cool. But
is that the first time that I know Randy? No, I guess they never mention Halloween. This is the first time that they have mentioned Halloween because they don't mention. Do they mention Halloween in Scream 1?
Yeah, they mentioned Mike. She's on. It's one of the answers to the thing Drew Barrymore about Michael Myers.
They're also
outside
watching
of the
it.
question, but outside of like the trivia and the question part, nobody else has said like something Michael Myers.
I don't think they have.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
it's just weird. Like you mentioned, it's weird for characters outside of those like. Do you like scary movies? Outside of those scenes, it's strange for characters to acknowledge horror movies in this universe. Given, like you said, there are characters just named after horror movie characters. Right. Names that are like so specific that, like you said, somebody would be like, "Oh, that's weird. Isn't that weird?"
They might as well have thrown in a character to just say "totally" the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
But other than that, you enjoyed it? Oh
yeah, no, it was awesome. That Billy Loomis thing, that whole twist could have gone completely south had they done it the wrong way. I think it was satisfying enough where I was like, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. I didn't know who knew he had a kid, but then again, who knew he was the killer? How much of a sleazeball was he really when he was dating Sydney when they were in high school? Like, I totally buy that somebody like him would knock someone up and then just leave.
Yeah.
You mean get killed? But yes.
Leave, get killed. In this universe, there isn't a difference.
Right.
So I guess in this universe, they still apply to the rules of unless you die on screen, you're still possibly alive.
Yeah.
Looking at you, the Meeks Martin twins of this film, which again was like a little on the nose reference to the way characters have survived in the past. I think those characters would be a direct reference to Randy and Dewey from the first movie.
Yeah, I mean, she was definitely a Randy analog, the sister, Jasmine's boy Brown.
He was a Dewey one because he, like, I kind of figured he wasn't dead, given that they didn't show him die, and they've made a point of showing everybody die in this movie. But, I
thought he was dead.
Really? Yeah,
I thought he was.
It was pretty brutal.
He got stabbed. Yeah, he got stabbed to
in the back a few times. Yeah. I thought he was going to survive, and then he got stabbed in the back a couple more times, and I was like, ooh, it's dicey.
Yeah.
So what about you, Yashar? What did you think about Scream 5?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I was really into it. I thought the story was good. It did a good job of, to your point, if you hadn't seen the other ones, it tells you enough where you maybe don't have the emotional connection, but you understand the relevance. The new characters were, obviously all were pretty good. Sam and her sister were interesting. The friends were like a nice group. Each kind of had their own quirks. And to your point, still had some callbacks to the original crew, but it was different. The kills were gruesome. The story, the reveal of the killer was pretty good. The first killer I figured out pretty easily. The second one surprised me a bit more.
Mikey Madison looks like a killer for whatever reason.
I was like, she's got murder vibes.
She's got that she has like intense girl vibes. Is what like when she talks, she's like, it's like, oh God, like. Ooh.
I was like, I'm both really attracted to you and also very frightened of you.
Yeah, she's very intimidating.
I thought her scariest moments was when she was pleading for her life. How quickly she was able to turn off.
Please, it wasn't me, it was him.
Yeah, exactly. It was just so freaky how it was almost childlike, which clearly means she was enjoying the entire thing.
Right.
And for spoilers, she's incredibly strong.
Oh my God.
She was able to fight Dewey and literally got him with her arms lifting him up.
Right.
Because when you think of because when they did reveal, what was the boyfriend's name?
Richie.
Richie. Well,
Richie. Such a dork ass name on top of everything else. Such a dork name. Like, oh yeah, Richie. All right.
Early in the movie, I was thinking, Ghostface has to be a man, at least one of them, because he was doing physical feats, and I think he was fighting Dewey earlier on in the movie, and a couple of people where I'm just a little girl couldn't overpower these people.
Something that a man could do.
No, so.
I mean, we were all thinking it.
I mean, that is so sexist. A serial killer could easily be a woman.
Yeah, it could be a woman. Yashar, you, sir, are just a sexist, okay?
No, I mean,
misogynist pig. I knew it. I knew it from the moment I met you in 1997.
Well, no, I knew it when Dylan Minnette got killed because he was fighting Ghostface, and Ghostface was physically overpowering him.
That's fair. And professional teenager Dylan Minnette.
Dylan Minnette. And I was like, look, if both Ghostfaces are women, it just won't.
Wow. Are you listening to this, Andrew?
But that was
sexism.
It was making me wonder how many times was the killer Richie, because it seemed like she was doing all the physical work, because he was in a lot of scenes, and the girl would disappear every now and then, which it would add up. I think to your point, it kind of, the only defense that I could see was that Dewey already was not that strong anymore.
Yeah.
Had been, battling the alcohol addiction for a little bit as well. So taking him down wouldn't have been that hard. I do think though, with her frame and how tiny she was, lifting him off the ground.
Oh yeah. With a knife.
With double knives,
Maybe adrenaline, though. Maybe she's that crazy that she was enjoying it so much she got to kill Dewey, and that adrenaline rush, gave her those abilities probably.
So if you don't know the big spoiler, I think it's the big spoiler of this movie.
It is.
Yeah, that was the most shocking
finally
thing.
Bites it. Though I mean, at this point, he's been stabbed fucking 3 movies.
He says 9 times or something.
Yeah, it's I've been stabbed 9 times. Maybe it's time for you to die. But the problem is, I actually walked away from the movie going, it should have been Courteney Cox. I don't understand why Dewey died, because the way I had a guest on my Scary Stories We Tell show last week, and he said they did Dewey dirty. And I would be inclined to agree, because the way he acted before he died was very anti the way the character had acted almost the entire series up until that point. I'm gonna go back and shoot him in the head. Why would you get that close? Why are you better?
That did seem. I mean, that was very horror movie cliche,
right?
Obviously, don't go back.
Does a very good job of staying away from those things.
Which I thought it was weird. Why would even they shot him and shot Ghostface and immediately walked away? And I'm why wouldn't you have just shot him there instead of coming back? But I will say, of the legacy characters, Dewey probably had the best performance. He's actually the core of the first half of the movie, and I was really sad when he died, because I think he's probably the most kind of pure, well-intentioned character in all of these movies, and so it made sense they gave him a lot of heavy lifting, because I guess he was going to die, so they were all right, well. He's probably still had the most screen time of all the legacy characters, and I think maybe it was just it wouldn't have been as impactful if Gale died. I don't know. I mean, the
original character.
Yeah,
I feel because if Gale died, everyone would have said, "Well, that bitch had it coming,"
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Her characterization. She hasn't had much of a characterization throughout the series. It's every movie they have to convince us to not hate her again. Or they have to convince us that we don't hate her, that we like her. And it's just make Courteney Cox likable. On Friends, she was likable. In other things, she's likable. You don't... Just because she was the bitch in the first movie doesn't mean every subsequent movie she comes back, she's forgotten what happened in the previous movie. Which is almost what happened in Scream 2. She's I'm a bitch again. It's but why? And then Scream 3, it's I'm not a bitch, but the character that's playing me is a bitch. And it's okay, that makes more sense.
The hit movie and, everything was, she had more deals coming in, another book and whatnot. It was very Rob Zombie's Dr. Loomis, the more success she was getting with her work.
But I just don't understand. In this movie, it's she convince us to not convince us to like Gale. It's we like her because she's a legacy character. That's why
we already like her.
Yeah, we like her.
she's softened up in the last couple movies, and like even in this one, you found out why they broke up. They actually surprisingly didn't break up because of her. They just broke up because Dewey couldn't communicate. We found out. Yeah. That was an interesting twist, and like I will say, the scene they had when they kind of reconnected, I guess it was the first time they'd seen each other in a few years since their divorce, because this movie takes place pretty much. So they've been together a while. They divorced, and so at this point they've probably been together like 10 plus years. And then they hadn't seen each other in a few years, and they had that moment where, like, he said, you know, I just thought I couldn't cut it, and I felt like a coward running away. I was like, damn, like that for Scream, that was a pretty emotional scene, and I wanted to see them have, like, she was obviously wanted to try again, and I think he did too. They just never got the chance.
I think that's what was more sad about it, was they didn't have any closure. There was no closure there. And she even said to him, which I thought was incredibly heartbreaking. I couldn't tell if it was a good thing or a bad thing, but she said, you know, you belong in Woodsboro.
Yeah.
Yeah, what does that
It's like, what does that mean?
How does one interpret that statement? Yeah.
You know, and then he dies soon after. And it's like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Even though they had Dewey in Woodsboro for the entire time, it still never prevented Ghostface from showing up and killing people.
No. He wasn't good at he was no precog.
No, he was no doofy from Scary Movie. Let's put it that way.
Can I mention something though that makes me wonder if the Scream movies actually take place in America? There is a surprising lack of access to firearms for the Ghostface killer.
I don't think he likes using guns. I don't think.
Yeah, they usually get guns, but from other people, like cops and stuff. And I was like, is this movie really taking place in America? You know, if it was like in London, I was like, all right, a lot of stabbings. You know, you can't get a knife off the high streets here, but
it would also look ridiculous. Like, can you imagine Michael Myers running around with a gun? Like,
that's fair.
With just a machine gun?
Yeah, it just takes the slasher aspect out of it.
Yeah.
You know, because eventually even Chucky started picking up guns.
Yeah.
You know? So it was always funny for me to see serial killers with guns.
Yeah.
But to your point, Yashar, like they have the guns when they're not Ghostface. Like in this movie, they're like in Scream 3, he has a gun at the end, not Ghostface. Scream 2, not Ghostface. Scream 1, not Ghostface. In Scream 4,
guns.
In Scream 4, she gets the gun from Dewey.
Where does she get that gun from?
Is that a question or an answer?
Well, but in most movies, they don't have the gun like on them. Like they usually get it from one of the protagonists.
Actually, Sydney doesn't just open up her trunk and go, "I've got guns now." Which, I mean, to be fair though, I liked that. Like,
it made sense for her.
I was completely on board. I was like, yeah, like of course at this point. Like, of all, you know, Andrew, I don't know how you feel about this. Of all the times we've seen characters now, these legacy characters returning for horror movies, Sidney Prescott feels like the most well-written. Because it's like, yeah, she has guns in her car. She doesn't fuck around. I think she could beat Laurie Strode in an arm wrestling match. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Sidney, she didn't go live in the woods. She didn't remove herself from reality like Laurie Strode did.
Well, she did. She did a bit in
Scream 3. But she's living her life still. Yeah. She's still married. She still has
tried
kids.
It, yeah. She tried it in Scream 3. It just didn't work.
Right.
You know?
And so, like, now she's like, no, I've got guns in my trunk. We're going to kill these people. That's what, like, we're going to commit murder, is what she says. Do you want to come with us? And it's like, I was like, fuck yeah, this is great. Like, this is how this character needs to be written at this point. Because she gives no fucks. She's sick and tired of this shit. And frankly, she doesn't need to come back.
And she wasn't going to come back. And I like how she's like, I'm not going to come back. And she only came back because Dewey was killed. Like, she's just like, I have no interest in dealing with this. And also, you know, she said Mark, her husband, which is is the implication she married
Scream 3.
Patrick Dempsey from Scream 3, who is never even mentioned in Scream 4, but which I guess is fine.
It doesn't cost anything to mention someone off screen. Like Hayden Panettiere, who is still alive, apparently.
Yeah, she's still alive. She was a great character in Scream 4 after
she's like the best part of that.
She was the best. Yeah, seriously. I absolutely loved her character. I'm still trying to figure out where the hell Jill got a gun. Now I'm like playing it back in my...
She must have gotten it from Dewey.
A cop at the hospital? No.
She
must have pulled it off of Dewey.
Yeah.
Well, because she like stabs Sydney, you know, takes off the mask. All of a sudden, you know, Ghostface's frame is really shrunken.
No, you know what?
Don't ignore that, okay? Rory Culkin is huge.
Yeah.
Right. Rory Culkin, intimidating man who weighs like 115 pounds, soaking wet. Like,
right. Then she pulls out a gun and says she's got a gun in a hand and a knife in the other. I never stopped to think of where did she get the gun?
Maybe she did have her own gun.
She get it
Maybe
from
her mom has one.
Did they get it from one of the cops that they killed? Because remember they killed Adam Brody and Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They're in it too. Yeah. So she probably
Adam Brody's just in Scream 4 for whatever reason.
Yeah, they're just vibing.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Sam and Richie a bit?
Do we have to talk about Richie? I mean, I like Jack Quaid, but his character in this, like, it felt like his character was the killer from the get-go.
Well, it kind of did, except I was like, I can't think of what his motive would be, and he was a Modesto. Like, the backstory, like the kind of toxic fandom, was very
covered up until the very end.
And I mean, fine. It was in the sense of like, I get like it was obvious they're making fun of like these fans who are like, oh, things need to go back to how they used to be, or like wanting to like actually have control of the creative process of their beloved properties.
Interfaced or seen these horror fans that they're talking about? They're like, they're miserable.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they were. I honestly assumed it was more of like, you know, people talking about like the Star Wars movies or reboots. Like, I didn't necessarily think about horror ones specific.
The horror, like, I know you watch horror movies, but I don't know how dialed into the horror community you are. And I know Andrew is pretty dialed into the horror community, as am I. The people that they're confronting are really fucking toxic. They're like horror man babies.
Yeah, I feel like the good kid amongst these people. Like, very well behaved, follow the rules, whatnot. It's very demanding. Like, we don't like this, we demand a rewrite.
Right. We want this. If it's not, if Michael Myers isn't killing people with wanton abandon and smashing their faces, we don't like the movie. Like, like Halloween Kills felt like it was pandering to those people almost directly. It was like, we're not going to give a plot because you don't give a shit anyways. Right. You just care about people getting murdered. And it's like,
there was even a petition to have the whole firefighter massacre scene removed, because I guess people thought that was
Halloween Kills.
Yeah, in Halloween Kills, there was the firefighter massacre. Oh,
they show it. They show it in the trailer. They do show it in the trailer.
Okay,
yeah. But it's like there's a pretty brutal scene early on that's like very out of character for Michael Myers.
Right, but that being said, they didn't take it out, which was good because people were demanding, horror fans were demanding it be removed as it was, first responders, and obviously we care for our first responders and whatnot. But it was funny to me that was crossing the line. Too far. Yeah, killing cops, not killing children and teenagers and mothers, and that's all
that
fine.
Michael Myers kills children. That Michael Myers kills fucking kids.
I've seen him do
it. Fucking necks. It's funny though, like you said, Yashar, like you could essentially transpose it onto Star Wars or and I mean anything really, Ghostbusters, what have you. But the horror fandom is. Again, if you're like dialed into it, they're very demanding, they're very picky, and it's a bunch of men in their late 30s to early 50s. The people who watch slashers in the 80s and think that is the end-all be-all of horror movies. And if you try to do anything else, don't do it because we don't want to watch it. And then they get pissed when they remake Halloween and it's, they want to do more with it, but they have to pander to these fucking fans who just can't get out of 1986 or whatever fucking year they're stuck in.
Well, isn't that what Ghostface's whole narrative was in Scream 5? When the girl was saying she likes the Babadook and she likes Hereditary, and he said, yeah, isn't that all a little fancy? What happened to the old days of, I think that's what the whole narrative was, they're reflective of these really toxic fan behaviors.
Yeah, because I have my own issues, as I'm sure you do, Andrew, with elevated horror, but I don't just say, well, like, those movies are all shit, I won't watch them. It's like, they're not for me. But like you said, like, the intro to this movie, it's weird. It takes that initial Ghostface scene where it's like, what's your favorite scary movie? And it's like, kind of tuning into the fact that there are people that like horror movies, claim to like them, but don't know anything about them. This, it's like, no, I know everything, but I hate that you like things that I don't like. And I think that's interesting. It's an interesting kind of direction to come because it feels like it's come full circle almost. Yeah. In a lot of ways. But at the same time, even with it coming full circle, this movie still has a lot to say. Right. Which brings me to the scene that I think is a little much. Okay. The scene at Randy's house, or I guess Randy's sister's house, Heather Matarazzo, who returns. From Scream 2 and 3.
That brought me so much joy.
I was so happy. I was like, man, what has she been up to? Just hanging out, making cookies for her kids. In her house, we have a scene reminiscent of the "you never say," "don't say I'll be right back" scene from the first movie. The rules of the horror movie. This is the rules of the requel, I guess, and I think that scene is a little much.
But they have
it gets a little meta.
That's fair, but they do have like a rule scene in every Scream movie.
But this goes further. This almost it gets to the point with me in this scene, and I'm curious how you guys come away from it. It feels like in this scene I know the thing where it's like, what are the rules? That's like pushing it. It's like maybe you're in a movie. That scene felt like they know they're in a movie. Like in this movie specifically, this time they do it for some reason for me. I think it must have been the language that they were using just felt so specific. I was like, this feels like these characters know they're in a movie and they're kind of just like winking at you. And it's like, I appreciate that, but I think it's just like, no one would say like a requel in real life to something that's happening.
But no one would say, hey, we're in the finale of a trilogy in like real life either.
I know, but that's my point. Like all those other scenes push that line. I think this one just goes one step too far. I know these scenes have to exist in these movies. I mean, it's almost formulaic at this point. Like,
it's what makes them.
Right. There's an expectation.
The first movie, the whole thing was, it's time for the third act.
Right.
The sequel's the final showdown. The third one is, I love it because she says, I've heard all this shit before.
Right.
This is getting really old. Mm-hmm. But to your point, I do like the whole, because I've been using the word requel ever since I saw Scream 5. Yeah. I was like, it makes total sense because I don't know what to call Halloween 2018. I could call it Halloween, but in my mind, Halloween is 1978's Halloween. Mm-hmm. So I just now refer to it as the requel Halloween. But yeah, it is extremely meta. Although to be meta in a Scream film, I think it's
I agree. Like to complain about meta in a Scream movie is almost like you're missing the point, motherfucker. Like that's
or maybe it is for the new audiences to understand because we grew up with Scream films, so we get it. We don't need anything explained to us. We're like, we get it. We understand what you're trying to say here.
Just maybe why it was a little more spelled out.
Maybe. Well, I'm not. They're not dumbing it down. They're just helping them understand. Look, this is what we've been doing since the '90s. You guys are new,
right?
So get with the program. So let's really break it down for you guys. There's requels, the Terminator.
So is Matrix Resurrections the sixth Scream movie or the fourth and a half? Because that's also very meta. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I didn't see it.
That Matrix movie is even more meta than this movie.
It's way more
But I will tell you, I love that movie. I absolutely loved that Matrix movie. Don't care, unabashedly. One of my favorite things of last year, without it.
I'm still not 100% sure how I feel about it, but I will say the action is really bad in it, which is a shame because those movies.
Keanu Reeves never picks up a gun, man.
I mean, that's fine.
That. He doesn't pick up a gun the entire movie.
He picks up a knife.
So Keanu Reeves is Ghostface. Okay.
Yeah. If you want to see Keanu Reeves as a serial killer, The Watcher is the movie you would go and see for that. It is not good, but it features Keanu Reeves being chased by James Spader as the cop. It sounds good. Sounds interesting.
You can also watch the John Wick movies. I think he is technically a serial killer in those.
That's also fair. So let's talk a little bit. I do want to talk a little bit about
how Dewey knew right off the bat who the killer was.
Right?
He said it.
He did.
He's the killer. It's him. And she said, why? Because it's him. It's just him. And then it was.
Can you imagine if he just pulled his gun out and shot him in the head there?
I would have. You're the killer, dude. You have the face of a killer. And you're annoying.
He does have the face of a killer. That's the funny thing about like Dennis Quaid. Like Dennis Quaid as an actor, I think is like we all consider him a very wholesome actor, but he has that really dark side that like
because of the smile.
Yeah, it's the smile. And Jack Quaid has the same thing.
Same smile.
It's more. It's like a grin as opposed to like there's nothing behind his eyes when he smiles too.
Yeah.
Or there's like a wicked twinkle behind his eyes.
Yeah.
There should be there should be some like fanfic like Dennis Quaid is the Joker.
Ooh.
Jack Quaid could have played a pretty good Joker. I genuinely like. He's a good actor. His character in this movie is a fucking dope, but it's it's written that way. I mean, it's
Yeah,
intentional. You find out it's intentional at the end.
He's playing like a fake dope.
Yeah, a total fake
Yeah.
dope. But I do want to talk about professional teenager Dylan Minnette.
Love me. Don't breathe.
He's great. He's good, but boy, like, he's in his 30s now.
No. I Googled. He's like 26, 25.
He doesn't look like a teenager, though, is more what I'm getting at. Like, all of those other actors really look like teenagers. And then it's like it. Yeah, and they acted like it. And then Dylan Minnette's just like, I'm an adult. Do you want me to buy beer for you?
Yeah, you guys need to take hold some pepper spray, you know, all this shit. It's like, okay, Mom.
Did Jamie Kennedy or what was the actor who played Stu?
Oh, Matthew Lillard.
Look like high schoolers to you?
No, they didn't. But the thing in that movie was none of them looked like high schoolers.
Yeah.
In this movie, you have people that like Jenna Ortega looks like a child.
Oh, she looks
like a baby.
Well, she actually is like 19.
Sure.
So she's like a borderline high schooler.
Yeah, but then like Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding as the Meeks twins, like they kind of look like teenagers, but Dylan Minnette, just like when he was in those scenes with them, I was like, this is just an adult.
Yeah.
These are
That's how they gave him the hair.
Yeah,
they gave him the hair.
They blonded his hair. I'm like, oh, this will make you look like a teenager. But I will say, what they did with his character, I really liked, because that was like the ultimate of meta, was the For West thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And yeah, I had mentioned that to you after seeing it for the first.
For Wes Craven. That was it was like almost entirely for that.
In Stu's
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Stu's
fantastic.
I didn't put that together. And I did like how he was the son of the now sheriff who was introduced in Scream 4. She was like the underling, the deputy
She's
of
like the second best part of that movie.
That's so sad.
Marley Shelton is a really good actress.
I was more sad that she died than Dewey.
Yeah. I will say wasn't her death a little telegraphed though?
It didn't make sense to me that she would, as the sheriff, approach a house where there's a possible killer without gun in hand, without scoping
and he's
out.
Just like waiting there on the porch, like surprise. Like
and then no fighting instinct. She gets stabbed once, falls, and that's it. She's
that's fair.
She's not, you know, she seemed like a woman who was really all about her job. So I think she was trained to handle a situation like that.
But it was her son.
Wes had the gnarliest death.
Oh, the like
throat.
Well, the thing through the and then that was definitely Jack Quaid.
Yeah,
I mean, overpowering it. Like, come on.
Yashar is just convinced he wants to know when it was Jack Quaid.
Well, it
had to have been.
He didn't get to eat his Chinese food.
No,
it was sushi. Japanese.
He didn't get to eat those goddamn lemon bars either.
Oh, those lemon bars. They're killer.
I do appreciate in this movie they have a lot more like daytime stuff, non-in-the-house kills.
I thought about that. Yeah, I did like the daytime. A little daytime homicide is refreshing.
Most of the original Scream takes place in the daytime.
Yeah.
If you rewatch it, like there's like Ghostface is doing a Michael Myers impersonation half of the time.
Yeah, seriously. And as much as I love that movie, I will still call bullshit on a lot of things that I love. It's Scream,
like that specifically.
Seeing him in the grocery store as Ghostface. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you don't have to wear it if you're actually just listening in on a conversation.
Right. Because they don't know it's you.
Yeah. So what's to say a mother's not going to turn around the aisle and be like, well, there's the killer you guys are looking for?
No,
I found him.
That was, to your point, it is kind of strange because in the first movie, do you actually think Sydney was trying to get murdered in the school that one time? Do you think they actually would have killed her in the school or were they just trying to scare her?
Wait, sorry.
In Scream 1, Sydney is in the bathroom and she runs away from Ghostface. Is Ghostface trying to kill her there or is Ghostface trying to scare her? I guess so.
Yeah. I always wondered that because they had planned out a third act.
Right.
So had they killed her right then and there, then the party wouldn't have mattered and
nothing would have mattered. They wouldn't have gotten their big reveal.
Listen, let's not nitpick.
Let's not nitpick the first movie. Let's not nitpick the movie that's the best. I don't know. Is the first one still the best out of all of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I've changed my answer.
I
can tell you which one I like the most, and it's not the first one.
The fourth.
I would.
Oh god.
Four is really good and surprisingly prescient with like the social media bit, which I thought was a little extreme the first time I saw it. And then I watched it again. I was like, "Fuck!"
It has the message of that movie has aged better than I think I thought it would.
Yeah.
Or gotten worse, frankly.
4 is somehow I mean, I guess her cousin, but the cousin part aside, is like the least realistic as far as like motives go.
Sidney Prescott's secret cousin.
Yeah. For social media clout, someone doing stuff like this, I'm like,
yeah. Did she have to die for it? Like, I don't know. What's weird
is they never reference her in this movie. They don't even mention like, hey, remember when you killed your cousin?
Yeah, no. They just say the last time it happened was in 2011. That's
about it. Yeah.
But like that time felt really personal for Sydney because it's like a family member trying to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where the hell did where did her fighting go in the fourth one? Because all the other, 1 through 3, even the first one where she's horrified, she's never experienced this before. She still, she fights back. She sees an opportunity and goes for it. And Scream 4, she was getting her ass handed to her by this teenage girl who just kept stabbing her in the stomach, kneeing her in the stomach, beating Dewey with a bedpan. So only
Emma Roberts' strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that American Horror Story strength.
Evil.
Right there.
Yeah.
When I think about that fourth movie, all I think about is Emma Roberts and like how not convincing she is as the killer.
I know, poor thing. She looked like a little chihuahua.
Yeah. Don't you get it?
I thought she was insane. I thought she was good. Like when she like goes full cuckoo, I thought it was good.
But that's like the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's the best scene is when she's beating herself up. I love that.
Oh my god! Yeah. Like running into walls,
and she jumps backwards into like the glass.
Yeah, because I saw that in theaters, and everybody was hysterically laughing, and I'm thinking, I think this is supposed to be funny. Like how ridiculous she's willing to go.
Yeah, like she could have stopped like 2 injuries ago.
Yeah.
So I'm curious for you guys, how long did it take for you to realize whose house they were in at the end?
Oh, I didn't realize it until they said it.
The second he walked in.
Yeah, right? Like
I was like, that's Stu's house.
Yeah, like for me it was that door. I was like, there's the door again. Because like the door is framed by those 2 giant ass glass windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then the kitchen. The kitchen was the exact same. We panned through the whole house. It was like, this is a tour of Stu's house.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But I do like that for not you, Yashar, but for like someone who is like new to the franchise. Like they don't like linger on that shot. They linger on it after the fact. And it's like you should know now what it is because they've told you. But beforehand, I really like very rarely do movies like this do that where it's like they don't play their hand immediately. Because most of the time they're like, nostalgia, we just can't hold it in. We gotta give them what they want. And it's like, no, in this movie, they don't do that. They're like, let's show you the inside of the house, and then when Sydney and Gail show up, it's like, oh, fuck. Like, if you haven't figured out now, here is this, like, great shot of the coming out of the house with the 2, it's, oh, my God.
It did not take away anything for me. I still had goosebumps. I knew it was the house, but it was knowing that the character didn't know. So when Sydney told her, you're in Stu Macher's house, there was that great shot of her looking out the door and the camera pans out that gave me absolute goosebumps. I was like, she did not know. She literally didn't know.
Yeah. And that was
pretty good.
I liked that. For me, this movie is really a exercise in how you do nostalgia right while still saying, like, we need to make a movie here. Like, this needs to be its own thing. We cannot rest on the laurels of the other franchise entries too much.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about Sam, which I did like her performance. She was basically like a Neve Campbell stand-in, but she had the familial ties. Oh, really?
I have very mixed feelings about her as a character.
That's what I'm saying. It was controversial.
I wasn't blown away, but I was like, she was fine, like a kind of audience surrogate and has a little bit of a familial thing. And then I did enjoy the few Billy Loomis, like kind of as like Batman talking to the dead Joker scenes.
Was that CGI? Was that CGI Skeet Ulrich? You want to weigh in because we're still not sure.
No, he was. I think he had an open schedule. So I think
episodes of Jericho are no longer filming, is what you're saying.
I think he was probably on set longer than he needed to be.
Hey, I think he was partially CGI de-aged, which is why
he was.
Looked so straight. Yeah, he had.
He was really. Yeah. He didn't look de-aged
to make him look like a teenager.
He looked old as fuck to me.
Well, but I think the issue is it wasn't successful. Is the problem?
Oh, I thought they were like, this is what he was assuming.
No, I think they were trying to make him. Right, you would agree, Andrew. They were trying to make him look like the last time we had seen him in like 1994 or whatever.
Well, right, obviously, what are they?
I didn't get that.
Recast him would have been really, really weird. So, and for fans, especially of the originals, we want to see Skeet if he's going to come back.
Right.
The de-aging was done just enough to not pull me out of the movie, but I did notice it. Yeah, it wasn't like in Chapter 2.
The one thing I have noticed was Skeet Ulrich one audition away from being Johnny Depp, because he looks a lot like him, and I was like,
I think that's why they liked him.
Yeah, that is.
I think that's why they liked him, because he had like a Johnny Depp kind of thing going, very Nightmare.
There was a reason you wouldn't think he was the killer, because he was like very clean cut, good looking, all American boy.
Yeah. Until Johnny Depp did like 15 years of playing only like weird psycho killer type characters.
Skeet Ulrich still did it better.
Yeah.
No Matthew Lillard.
Well,
you say that like it's obvious that he shouldn't come back, and yet everybody who is a fan of the franchise have been begging for him to come back since the first movie. Myself and Andrew included.
He was supposed to be in the third movie, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because it was like he was supposed to like have survived and then kind of been the mastermind with Roman.
Which would have made sense. Which would have made perfect sense.
Yeah, because he could have potentially survived the bleeding out, because it's not like he took a bullet to the head or anything.
No, he got thrown through a TV. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how you bleed out from that.
Well, I thought he was electrocuted.
Well, yeah, it was implied.
He's thrown through the TV, but like, I'm not even sure that's enough to kill you. Like,
only one way to find out.
those CRT TVs. Cathode ray tube TVs, yeah.
Those TVs are nuts.
They're heavy as fuck. I know that much. I've moved one or two in my lifetime. I know they're heavy.
Yeah, they're insane.
Like you and I, Andrew, before the movie came out, like we were joking, like what if Stu comes back? Like, is Stu gonna come back? And if they don't bring him back in the next movie, which I think should be the last movie.
Well, they're making a whole trilogy.
I know. I just don't get it.
That's why the fourth one is a standalone film. It's just kind of the bridge between trilogies, I suppose.
Oh, you're saying they're not considering 4 as like part of the new trilogy?
No.
Like 5
right. Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's easy to make it standalone too. The way it was shot was so interesting. They chose that glowy kind of look.
It's like soft camera glow.
Yeah. It was like Vaseline was spread on the camera lens or something.
You know, I did kind of forget that this is the middle movie. This is the first movie, not the middle movie. Because Scream 4 is kind of like the redheaded stepchild now, for whatever reason. I don't know why. I feel like
Scream 4 is like at first it was like decently received, but it was the worst performing in the box office, but like critically pretty well received. And I think like as time has passed, and especially as a lot of like the messages to your point about like social media and stuff have become more and more like relevant, people are looking back on it like. I think people liked it at first. Now people are like, oh shit, like not only was it pretty entertaining, but the things it was saying were kind of true in a weird way. And we just hadn't seen enough of it. Because like Instagram and Facebook had been around, but Instagram and stuff was just starting to take off. And like there weren't really influencers. There were like legit celebrities on social media, but there weren't people whose sole job was just being famous from like Instagram.
Yeah, and like when I rewatched Scream 4, that was why I was like, oh my God, like this movie Scream 4's like message could have been on this movie. Like it really could have.
Sure.
Like, and it might have worked better actually. Like I like what they did with the toxic fandom, but like I think for just placate my idiocy here, the message of Scream 4 would have worked better in this movie, and the message of Scream 5 would have worked better in that movie. And I say that because having that familial connection makes sense with Billy Loomis and everything in this movie. But that's because they made it make sense through all those like logic leaps and like hoops. If they had just transposed that onto Sydney's cousin and made it work as her cousin, like I think you have something there that's kind of fixes 4 and maybe gives 5 something that, not saying it lacks, but it maybe changes it a little bit. But 4, I mean, that message for 4 would work better now. Because it's aged better. I mean,
I agree that the motive for 4 is probably would like have made it more impactful today. I don't know if the toxic fandom thing would have made as much sense because like Reddit and all that stuff wasn't. Not that there weren't toxic fans, but it would have been like people would just be like, okay,
That would have been pretty forward-thinking then to confront toxic fandom.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Jill was already calling it before Kardashian, recently told everyone to get up and work. Jill said, what am I supposed to do? Work?
Exactly.
How do you become famous anymore? You don't have to achieve anything. You just have to have really fucked up shit happen, Kim. So, for her to, especially today, that would have been really, really relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but to your point, Yashar, Andrew, I'm curious. We'll go around the table here. What was your take on Melissa Barrera as Sam Loomis? Apparently, not Carpenter. Sam Loomis. What was your take on her as a character?
I liked her. Actually, I thought she was really, really nice. I thought I could see what people's complaints were. I think that what it was that it was overacting, I suppose. But aside from that, I thought she was fine. I thought she was believable. Also, it just made me really happy to see, a Mexican actress as a lead in a horror film. Yeah. So that made me happy.
The scene where she murders Jack Quaid, I get what they were going for, and I hope that they go somewhere with that. Because it feels like that there's somewhere that they can go with that storyline, with her maybe, not being entirely in control of her. Yeah, exactly. Because she still is Billy Loomis's daughter.
Right.
And she murdered Jack Quaid.
And Mrs. Loomis's granddaughter.
That's true, yeah. Oh, boy. Mrs. Loomis is so good in that second movie, my God.
Dude. Those eyes, right?
Yeah.
Mrs. Loomis probably has the nuttiest motives out of all of the... Well, Romans is pretty insane, too.
It's just good old-fashioned revenge. What are you talking about?
It's like, you killed my son. You killed my son for trying to kill you. How could you? And I'm like, wow, okay.
Laurie Metcalf in that movie makes that movie. She is almost primarily the reason Scream 2 is my favorite Scream. Because she is so, the twist where she's the killer is genuinely unexpected. That twist comes up.
It's absurd.
Right,
it's
but that's
absurd.
why for me, that's why it works. Because at this point in this series, in the second movie, it's like the twist in the first movie that it's Stu and Billy is not absurd. It makes sense. But in that second movie, it's like, we just don't even, Timothy-Olyphant is a killer. And that makes sense. But then it's like, but Debbie Salt is Billy Loomis's mom. And it's like, you're telling me she stood 10 feet from her and didn't recognize her?
Yeah, well, she lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, but I like that. I like that
she had a lot of work done.
Yeah, this woman underwent a physical transformation. That's how much she hates these people. She's I'm going to change myself so then I can ingratiate myself into them and fucking murder all of them. That's just so sadistic. And it's
if you loved your son this much, couldn't you have just gone back and not left him instead of murdering people? But
it was Sydney's mom's fault, okay?
The coolest thing was her completely eliminating Mickey's plans. He had this whole speech about what we were going to do. This is why I did, where there's going to be trials and all this shit, and it's going to be amazing. And it's this huge setup that we're thinking, where is this going? And then when Debbie comes in, or Mrs. Loomis, she's like, yeah, no, that's not happening. Boom.
Bam.
Boom.
I used you to get to Sydney, basically. I thought that was pretty cool.
And hey, she was the one to first murder a fan favorite character.
Yeah, she got a little knife happy.
Yeah, she killed Randy, which
justice for Randy.
I mean, he's still the best character in the entire series.
Justice for Randy.
That is the best part in the first movie with Randy when he thinks that it's Billy, and obviously he's right. And Billy has that really creepy interaction with him in the video store. And Randy kind of just turns around and says, "You're telling me that's not a killer?"
Right?
That was just the creepiest moment, and there was no music. It was just really ominous. And the look on his face was like, he's obviously the killer. He's so fucking weird,
Yeah.
I know everybody talks about the fountain scene in the first movie, but I love the video store scene. Everybody is a suspect! He's got those VHSs in his hand, he's screaming, and everybody's looking at him that is the kind of meta interactions that I like. Where it's you just they're at wit's end, and they're this is not the way it's supposed to be, but yet here we are, and I like that, and that's what Scream has always provided for me as a viewer. Is Scream and Nightmare have a special place in my heart because I watched those are the first two horror movies I watched, but for me, Scream has always been this is the kind of movie I would write, this is the kind of movie I would like to make, is a movie where it's I want to show you that I'm a fan of horror movies while also making a good horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was with Tatum's line, by the way? That's another thing I never understood from that film. When when they're sitting on the porch during the day right before the party or whatever, and Sydney says something like, well, if Cotton isn't the killer, then he's still out there or whatever. And Tatum says, don't go there, Sid. You're starting to sound like a Wes Carpenter flick. And I'm like, wait a minute, but this is a Wes movie. How would she know who Wes Craven is? You know what I mean? So
and then Halloween exists.
Yeah, Halloween exists, and so Loomis and Carpenter and all this shit. And I just try not to look too far into it because then I'll go nuts. But it just makes me wonder how that makes any sense in that universe. Still love it though.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It's a problem when they start getting into 2020s where people expect you to mention those kinds of things, not not out of pocket, like Wes Carpenter. Like that was the thing they used to do in the 90s, right? Where it was like, we'll just like put two names together and hang a lantern on it, which is Billy Loomis. So there you go.
Also, sorry to go back to Sam. I thought she was like fine, like. The actress was fine. I have a huge crush on her now. She's my new Neve Campbell, and I thought you
were gonna say Mikey Madison was your new Neve Campbell. It's those eyes, bro. She is a scary lady, my friends.
No, if we did like a fuck, marry, kill, there's definitely a hierarchy.
There's a reason she portrayed Susan Atkins in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Because she Mikey Madison is a great actress, but she doesn't have to do much to look crazy.
Yeah, both of which she got burned,
Yeah, right. Boy, yeah. Oh my God, boy, what a way to go down as the villain in this movie. Whoa, man, getting
burned
lit on fire. Yeah, I still like the Babadook.
Yeah, I hated that.
The Babadook was not. Duck. Any of these movies?
You hated that, or you hated the Babadook?
No, I hated that line.
Yeah,
I hated that line. I was like, it worked for Gale. I remember the safety that time, you bastard, or Scream 2, just in case. They're one-liners that are good, but they're not cheesy.
Yeah, that felt like a Bond. That felt like a Bond one-liner.
Yeah, because like in the fourth one, it was almost cheesy, but I was like, I can appreciate it. You forgot the number one rule of remakes, Jill, is not to fuck with the original. I was like, you know what, I can afford that one because I agree with it. But this one, I still prefer the Babadook. I was like, shut up and sit down. Your leg is broken. Like nobody asked you.
Yeah, no, it's. I like that they reference the beginning of the movie again, but
she's the first victim who doesn't die at the beginning.
Right. Yeah, boy.
Well, did you read what the original beginning was going to be?
No. What was it?
It was going to be so obviously Ghostface calls someone, and then it turns out that someone being called is one of the killers, and the person being Ghostface was going to be Sydney. It was Sydney calling one of the killers.
Like she already had like found out who they were.
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, but we as the audience wouldn't know that. We just thought it was another teenager being stalked by Ghostface, and the reveal was that teenager being stalked was the killer, and Ghostface was being.
So it would have started with like the ending, basically, the ending of the movie.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting. That would have been a cool like subversion. One thing, the opening was when she answered. The guy Ghostface was talking to her, and he's like, "Oh, I know your mom." Because I guess the assumption is Mikey went to the same AA meetings or something as their mom. Unclear. But I was like, if she had just taken the number and said, "Okay, my mom will call you back," and like didn't keep engaging because she was in the prolonged conversation with Ghostface not have tried to kill her. I mean, yeah. I'm over analyzing. I know, but that conversation like had multiple outs for her to just stop talking to Ghostface and just be like, "Okay, thanks for calling."
Yeah.
But
Sydney did it. I loved that scene where Sydney, the ghost face I guess it was the Quaid kid doing it.
Yeah, it was.
He's like talking her ear off and she's like, you know what, I'm bored, and just hangs up. He's like, wait, what?
No, he's like, no, wait.
Yeah, like
he literally goes, no, wait.
I have more stupid shit to say, she's like, I've already done this shit, man, so.
Well, it's also because he was trying to prepare to stab her. That's what was going on, because he was like trying to wait for her to get there, and he's like, no, wait, and she just bang, shoots your ass, motherfucker. I love that. She is the perfect character in this movie. She just does not give a fuck.
No, she's over it. That's why. Yeah. She's so over it that she's like, I've done this so many times, I'm sure I can take them. And if I die, whatever. Because how many times can she get stabbed in the gut?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. The thing about the Sam character that I hope they go into is her like embracing that serial killer side of herself. I hope maybe the trilogy ends with her being the final Ghostface and she has to get killed by her sister. I don't know, but they need to have something. They need to do something with this because don't show us this and then just like in the next movie ignore it like they did with Sydney's cousin.
I thought she was cured.
She just took meds. She had some anxiety and also being a serial killer. It's not like hereditary, but mental illness is.
And it's not hereditary until you go and stab a guy 30 times.
Well, who tried to kill you?
Sure. Yeah, that's
fair.
Sure, but did Sidney Prescott stab anybody 30 times?
No, she shot Billy Loomis in the head.
Yeah, but that she shot him in the head, that makes sense. Like stabbing that dude 1,000,000 times. I don't know. I want to see them do something interesting. I want to see them actually make one of our main characters Ghostface, which they have not done yet. Yeah. I mean, the first movie you could make the case because it's an ensemble film.
Actually, Jill was a main character.
Yeah, Jill was arguably more of a main character than Stu and Billy were. Because we spent time with just Jill with her friends and stuff.
Yeah. We had one-on-ones with Jill and her boyfriend and her issues and these conversations she would have with Sydney about what's it like, people looking at you. I don't know. I could argue that is the main character of Scream 4.
I would actually, you know what? I would agree with you. So let me walk back what I said. I would like if they have the final girl actually be Ghostface. And not this like wimp out thing where it's like, oh, it was somebody else doing it and I was telling them. Like, I would like for the finale of this series to be one of our main characters is Ghostface, and that is like somebody has to deal with that, and we see their transition into becoming Ghostface. I don't think that's where they're going, but where else can they go at this point? Like,
Ghostface is their mom in London. I mean, wouldn't be surprised if like Stu had a kid or Stu's cousin or. I could see them going that route.
Stu's cousin is dead.
We have relatives, man.
Yeah.
Jill was there.
Right? Stu's cousin died, right? That was the Kyle Gallner character.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to go more with him because I actually like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's really good.
Which one's Kyle?
The one who gets killed outside in his car,
he's kind of like the douchebag, that shows up to the bar and.
That's the older dude.
That's Stu Macher's his nephew, right?
Yeah, because one of the twins calls him Uglier Michael Myers.
Yeah, he's great. I was kind of disappointed that he dies in the second scene that he's in.
But he's the first official kill in Scream 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the opening girl didn't die, which I thought she did. I was like, oh wow, she lived.
She got pretty messed up.
Yeah,
and the implication is, as soon as the cops came, I guess Ghostface just ran away instead of getting like one final stab.
That's the way Ghostface works, man.
Cops show up and
he disappears into the night.
He was like a ghost.
Yeah, with a face.
Who's better at leading in a second, Ghostface or Batman?
Ghostface.
I
think Ghostface.
You have to believe that Ghostface can take his gear off almost immediately because Jack Quaid was the one chasing her around to the hospital, was he not?
Yeah.
And just throw his shit in a bin.
Magically back in that room,
Yeah, because it's just a slip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a jumpsuit of any sort. So
Also, they were calling him out for watching. They're like, oh, I'm like, he was in the room with the sister who was conscious. Like, could she not say whether or not he was there?
No.
Maybe he told her he went to take a shit or something.
Movie logic.
Yeah. I know.
So the other question I have, and this movie kind of verges on it. It kind of presents it as a question, and then it shies away from it. How do you guys feel about Ghostface? Because in this movie, they almost make the case that Ghostface has been Ghostface is like an overarching entity here, and they kind of hinted at it in the other movies, but this is the one where they definitely lean into it, where it's like this Ghostface has been the same Ghostface since the first movie.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
The person underneath is different, but somehow the entity of Ghostface is
it's its own thing.
Yeah, they're putting on the armor of Ghostface when they go and do their crimes. And in doing so, they somehow embody this evil entity that's been around now for 20 years.
Yeah, that's creepy. I've thought about that as well because the way we look at it is not Freddy Krueger's always Freddy Krueger.
Right.
Michael Myers is always Michael Myers. But with Ghostface, we treat it like, oh, Ghostface is back. It's like, well, no, technically some other kid in a costume is back. So it's not really Ghostface. So Ghostface is it's the essence of some sort of evil that putting on that outfit makes you become. Maybe that's why she was so strong, to kill Dewey.
I mean, that's that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like you said, like I think that the smartest thing that they've done is and I think this is kind of their kind of like the back door into this, which makes it make sense, is by including the stab movies. By having the stab movies exist, then you can have someone like, say one of us wanted to become Ghostface, right? You just go watch the stab movies, understand where that character is coming from, read all the information, and then just mimic that, right? Because that's essentially all these people are doing, is just mimicking. They're all copycat killers. The original Ghostface is Stu Macher and Billy Loomis. Everybody else has been a copycat killer.
Well, that makes me wonder too, if there is some sort of, well, that's the way I took it, a paranormal aspect, with Billy kind of being in her dream. Is he haunting Woodsboro? Are the two main killers, or are all the killers, feeding into this Ghostface enigma that haunts and looms over Woodsboro? And every time a kid decides to put on the mask, they somewhat become influenced by that, or even possessed. It's a little far-fetched, but part of me is like, that's kind of cool. It's kind of really creepy.
That's an interesting point. I honestly think it was like mental, hence the pills and stuff, the haunting thing. But to your point, I was thinking it may be interesting to see, like, not necessarily related to Stu and Billy, but what we could do, whatever, to have some sort of paranormal aspect attributed in the future Scream movies. I know they've generally been like, for as much as like a movie is ridiculous as these can be, like grounded.
Yeah.
How grounded a meta movie can
be, and there's like a lot of plot holes and stuff. But as far as like how the mechanics of the murders and whatnot, it could be an interesting thing. Is like, all right, let's add a little bit of a supernatural element. I don't know how that would look, but I would be down for it.
Yeah, not to the point of making it like Paranormal Activity, like where we're seeing ghosts and shit, but just like just hinting at it. They could even go to someone who's like claims to be a medium, and everyone thinks that they're full of shit, and they're like, who is Mrs. Loomis? And they all kind of shit their pants and go, what? She's still here.
Right.
Because I
got plastic surgery again, bitch.
Well, no,
ghost surgery.
And that's
they're all ghosts. They're all ghosts. So the ghost face.
Oh, well, there you go. And that's the funny thing here about this is it's like the James Bond thing where it's like, they've worked themselves into a trap here where it's like, how do you explain who James Bond is and how he's always changed? In those movies, they're never going to approach it. In this, they have, they take the cowling, they take the slip off, and they're, he's no longer Ghostface, he's whoever, the killer. And so, it also injects into these movies something that a lot of the other movies don't have, a lot of these other horror movies, or slashers even. More slashers, but less horror movies in general. Like, this movie is ultimately a whodunit.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, that's the greatest part of it for me. Is it's the fun for everyone is guessing who is the killer. Right. And at some point you're right. So it's always funny to me watching it with people, and when they reveal the killers, they'll be like, "See, I knew it." It's like, yeah, but you also guessed that was the killer, and that was the killer. You didn't guess it. You just that was always going to be the killer. They weren't the killer because you said so.
Yeah. But I think to your point, like, I would like to see maybe an acknowledgement of like, why does this keep happening here? Because like that's Fear Street. Like you essentially described Fear Street, where it's like, why does this keep happening here? Of all places,
Fear Street was fire.
Fear Street was amazing.
Oh my god!
But that's also because Fear Street said like, let's address it. Because like, what's the reason? Like, why do things keep happening in Woodsboro? I don't know if anybody else is asking that question, but like. Sydney, I understand, because, like, there's this connection familially to all these other people that she's been in contact with. Billy Loomis's mom, her half-brother, her boyfriend, her cousin. Like, I get why they're going after her. But, like, why Woodsboro?
Yeah, why Woodsboro? And also, to your point, it would make sense because she keeps leaving. And after Scream 3, she left. She was like, I'm done, I'm never going back. And then somehow she ends up having to come back.
Scream 3 doesn't take place in Woodsboro, though, does it?
No, she's living off in the mountains somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, Scream 2 is in wherever the fuck she's in college.
Is that in Woodsboro?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
So I guess, Woodsboro's only in the first, fourth, and fifth movies. But that's still...
Yeah.
3, you know.
But the kills were being mimicked, you know, because Debbie Saltz, you know, that the
also
must be from Woodsboro.
Right.
Dewey's limp went away in 4, but came back in 5.
Yeah, it sure did. It sure did.
Which I could say, okay, in the decade since Scream 3, sure, maybe he recovered and stuff, so that's fine. But that was an interesting choice to bring that back.
They also got rid of the arm. Didn't they get rid of the arm thing too?
He could have had a lot of therapy, and maybe just like the alcoholism taking a toll on his body just made it come back kind of.
Yeah, fair. I'm not gonna lie, David Arquette looked good.
He's a good-looking guy.
He looked great. Are you kidding me?
He's a great-looking guy.
I was like, this is the hottest he's looked in all these movies. Like, big deal vibes.
Yeah, he's rugged. I just wish I wish his voice matched that.
Oh, I love his voice.
You know, that Sam Elliott kind of voice, you know.
Yeah. He's like, hi, I'm Dewey.
He's like, I'm Dewey, and
he's never grown out of that childish voice.
It's charming. I love it. No, he looked fantastic. I hope I look like that.
Yeah, when I'm like 55 or whatever.
Yes, getting into the wrestling. You know, he's like does wrestling, like actually, deathmatch wrestling and shit.
Yeah, and clowns.
I listened to a podcast. Yeah, he owns the rights to Bozo the Clown.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fun fact.
It's just such a David Arquette thing to do.
Sure.
Yeah. He did an interview with on Dak Shepard's podcast recently, and he kind of went into all that. He sounds like a really like interesting, well-intentioned guy, but he has some like very esoteric interests.
Sure. Well, don't we all? Speaking of great voices, is it surprising to anyone else that it took them 5 movies to give Ghostface a external speaker through which to speak to the characters with?
What do you mean?
In this movie, he turns on that little thing and he's like, run, motherfuckers. And that's like in the hospital scene.
Right.
It's taken him 5 movies to get to the point where Ghostface can talk to people.
No, in 3, Roman had this.
That doesn't count. That doesn't.
What do you mean it doesn't count?
It doesn't count in the way that this does, because that's what Roman is already revealed. Are you talking about the end of the movie, right?
Yeah.
I'm not like
because when he's talking about killing Tatum, this is in Scream 3. You know, the security guard is in that little trailer outside, and he's like, he's talking to Dewey.
Yeah.
And you know, the killer said, you know, what did you say? I can't believe you said that. And he comes in and he screams angry in the Ghostface voice. And that's in person. So, yeah.
Justice for Roman. Hashtag justice for Roman.
Maybe I am forgetting, but like this thing where he's talking to Dewey is weird, right?
In person?
Yeah, where he has like a little, he's like, it's my honor. Like,
it's weird, but it's kind of cool. I
wish they would do more of it. Is what I'm getting at.
Because you know, I agree with you, because when I saw it in the trailer, you know, hearing them say, you know, it's an honor, I wanted to know what scene that was going to be for, because I knew it had nothing to do with Sidney walking in the house. It made more sense for the killer to say it after killing such a legacy character.
Yeah.
So to say it face to face, it's an honor, is kind of bone chilling. But no, yeah, it was like a button that was outside the mask.
Yeah, it was like he had like a little speaker on his like shoulder.
Yeah, like a switch on.
And again, like I mention it because it further kind of reinforces that like Ghostface, like what is Ghostface? Because like if he's then able to start talking to people, then it's like further reinforcing the thing you and I were talking where it's like maybe this person is being like overcome with this like the power of Ghostface, but like you're talking like him out, you know, again, like for almost the entire series for the most part, like Ghostface's interactions verbally have been through the telephone. That was like the gimmick, obviously, in the first movie. But it's interesting, like maybe they'll go more in that direction and pull it away from technology and have him or her taunting and talking to the characters. And like I would be all for that. Like that would be the next logical step. Don't turn it into like a Freddy Krueger, like, you know, now you're playing with power. But like you can do it in a way that's not overbearing but still interesting and like you said, can kind of make a creepier film in the long run, because you have Ghostface talking and taunting these characters while he's chasing after him.
Right. It's like the line in Scream 5 where she's describing what's going on, and the killer, well, the boyfriend at the time, Richie, says, like Halloween. And she's like, no, it's not like Halloween. He's like, it kind of sounds like Halloween. She's like, yeah, I guess it does sound like Halloween. I wonder if the whole phone thing came from that moment in the original Halloween where, he strangles the girl with the cord and then picks up the phone.
And he's listening.
He's just a breather. If that had anything to do with it, I don't know. Each Scream movie has some kind of Halloween reference. I can't name them all off the top of my head, but I know that, especially the first one, obviously they watch it. The Scream 2 has one where the opening scene, Jada Pinkett Smith doesn't know that that's her boyfriend sitting right next to her and he's dressed like a ghost. Well, that's a Halloween reference in that she, with, her boyfriend dressed like a ghost, and she doesn't know that that's not him. The third one, I have no idea. The third one, it gets so much hate.
I don't know why.
And now I go back and watch it and I laugh so much. And I think it's Parker Posey's performance.
She's great in that movie.
Yeah.
Hysterical. And then she dies. So
she somehow ends up being a better Gale Weathers than Courteney Cox is.
It is so funny. It is every single thing that she says. And it doesn't sound like she's trying to be funny. She's just so obnoxious that she's funny. I think that's why her and Courteney Cox like butt heads in the movie, in that they're both in different fields, but they're both willing to do whatever it takes to do their best in their field. So she will study Gale Weathers to the point where she's going to annoy the shit out of Gale Weathers, to make sure that her performance is the best. And I just love that scene where they're pulling the files and she says, stage name. And Carrie Fisher says, "You should talk, Judy Jurgenstern."
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah, Scream 3. Scream 3 is weird because it's like it kind of is like it's almost confronting something else completely, and Scream just happens to be like part of it.
Yeah, what is
it? It's like a send up of the film industry, realistically.
Yeah, it's like it's also kind of pressing about like Me Too and like Harvey Weinstein and all that kind of stuff.
That's the whole thing, right?
Which is interesting because they produced that movie. Were they not watching the dailies?
Oh no, they were. They were doing it at the same time they were making movies about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is even more fucking horrifying. Like the real depravity is being like, we're gonna produce this movie about a film producer who gets murdered because he raped a young and up and coming talent, right, Harvey?
And Harvey was like,
that's great.
That is ridiculous.
No irony here, folks. Not a fucking lick. So where does the franchise go from here? And what are the odds that one of the main characters ends up being Ghostface in the end?
I don't think it's that difficult to get there. No, I think it can happen. I don't think it's a far-fetched idea. I was just thinking before we even signed on here, I was like, where would the franchise go? I do like the idea of another trilogy. Only because, they did the series, it was fine. Then they did like a spin-off series, it was horrible.
Oh my God.
So like, where can we go with Scream, right? I think where it belongs is in the movies because they're about movies. But as far as Gale and Sydney, if they come back, of course I'm going to appreciate that, but I don't think they need to. And that's coming from someone who absolutely adores Gale and Sydney. But for the sake of the movie, I don't want them to just be crammed in just for the sake of making me happy. Make it make sense in the story. It made sense a little in Scream 5. That's why I like that they didn't have much screen time. Right. Because it wasn't their story. They were just there to like kind of move it along, help everybody understand what's going on, and also help explain to newer audiences who they are. But after this one, I don't think they need to come back unless they write something really epic. Gale dies. You know what? That's what they need. They need a Harry Potter ending. Just
Gale is more like. I feel like Gale is more likely to come back as a character than Sydney.
Well, yeah, because it makes sense. Because she's the news lady.
And Dewey is dead. Whereas like Sydney has a life. She has at least one kid. She has her husband. Gale can make it work for work.
Unless, what if they made the next one just about Sydney? Like make her the main character again. That her family is being.
I thought the whole point was to make us to have like to not really where we could almost not have them in the future and stuff.
It was.
That was how I interpreted it.
Oh yeah, it was. And now I'm thinking I would love to see. It would just be really cool.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Look, Laurie Strode from 1978 is now the main, whatever in the new Halloweens. I think we can get Sidney Prescott back as the main character, at least for one of these newer ones. Make her the main character. Because she's not even the main character in the third one.
No. The way I could see them, if they wanted to bring Sidney back, the way you do it is Scream 7, the last one of this trilogy.
Yeah.
It opens the way Scream 3 opens, where Courtney Cox gets murdered in the first scene.
Oh.
But
justice for Cotton.
But yeah, right. Liev Schreiber is great. I'm sorry, Sidney. He's so good in that second movie. He's so good in that second movie. Oh my god.
Those movies basically launched his career.
Yeah.
That was like his first big movie. I mean, Scream, but he's barely in the first Scream.
Yeah, he's
Scream 2 is
hinted at.
Scream 2, basically, yeah. If you look at his filmography, basically launched his career.
But honestly, that's what I think they should do, is have if they want to do that, if they really want to bring him back again, which I like you said, Yashar, isn't that the point of this movie, is to not? But look, we all know they can't help themselves.
And wouldn't it be anti-Scream formula to do what is expected? What we expect is for them to write off Gale
sunset.
Yeah, but it's I think the most shocking thing would be for the final film, make Sidney the main character again. She's the only one that could end it all. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're all coming for a Sidney type.
Right. So why not Sidney?
And actually, you guys said something that made me think. I could see a Cotton Weary reference, a familial thing. That could be a way for Ghostface. You know what I mean?
Ooh, he's finally killing Sidney.
Yeah, because
no, his a secret Cotton child.
Because Sidney had wrongfully accused him, which led to him getting involved in this, which led to
it ended up making his life exponentially better
until it got him killed.
That's fair, and it is Sidney's fault that he died.
Yeah, it is technically, because he would have never been involved in the Ghostface stuff if she hadn't wrongfully accused him.
I mean, it is kind of her fault in a way. Isn't all of this Sidney Prescott's fault in a way, really?
No, it's her mother's fault. No, it's
her mother's fault.
And your mother was no Sharon Stone. No Sharon Stone. God, Matthew Lillard in that first movie has the best fucking lines in the entire series.
You can't watch that movie and be like, this dude is, within 5 minutes, this dude is insane.
Yeah, he's the scariest killer.
He's so nuts, and he's fucking huge. Matthew Lillard is a huge dude. Zoinks! I mean, he is. He's a fucking huge dude.
And there was no motive.
No.
He's just... Well, he's like Timothy Olyphant, basically, but crazier.
Timothy Olyphant had motive. He just wanted to be a serial killer.
Well, I mean, that's
Stu
not really...
Stu Macher is just peer pressure. He's just like a weak-willed turd.
Yeah, peer pressure.
My favorite line in all of Scream is Stu Macher, Matthew Lillard sitting next to the phone going, my mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. It's like, dude, that's the least of your fucking worries, bro.
And then the phone...
High schooler Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, high schooler Matthew Lillard. Grown-ass man.
Is so cool to me that the phone was not supposed to hit him. You know, when Billy...
Oh, when he throws it at him?
When he throws the phone, but his hands were so covered in fake blood that they slipped, the wrong direction and it hit Stu. And that was just an off the top of his head moment to just say, you fucking hit me with the phone, you dick. And it made it to the movie. It was really cool.
That's funny.
That first movie really is when we talk about movies that are perfect, it's up there. I think it's a damn near perfect movie.
The Drew Barrymore opening is...
How about that? How about that? That is some dark shit.
Yeah, right?
It is. It's the only one that's still all the openings are fun for the rest of them. They're fun. That's the problem. But
especially looking at you four.
Yeah, that. See, I could enjoy that because it was fun. But Scream, the first one, as soon as that phone rings, and now as many times as I've seen it, I'm like, I already know what's coming, and I don't want it to happen. And each time I'm like, if she just screamed louder, her parents would have seen her. If she just ran out, I don't know, fought back a little harder, but it just doesn't end that way ever each time. And not only did she get sliced and diced, but she's gutted and hung from a tree,
and strung up. Yeah,
slice and dice.
That's just a mess of shit. There was a Halloween reference in there too. Go down to the Mackenzie's house and
right. Yeah. I think the first one is still the scariest one.
It is.
It still has moments of genuine dread. There are moments in the other ones. 2 has some moments. The scene with Sarah Michelle Gellar in the house is pretty good. It's pretty scary.
Oh yeah.
With that gothic music playing in the background. I don't know if you can hear.
That first movie is just I think throughout everything about it is just so well.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
I think it's because like we don't really know the rules yet in Scream 1, right? So you're like, I'm not really sure what's going on. And then like once we sort of have a general structure, like they're not. It's not they're less effective, but they're definitely less like they're not scary.
No. Yeah. And Scream 4's opening is of all of the film's openings, it is the most obnoxious.
The one where it's like they're watching Stab 6, and then it's
fake
the random girls, and then it's Kristen Bell and Anna Paquin, and then the other random girls are watching it.
Fuck
Chris
that.
rolling his eyes
just that, like that is when meta goes wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm just like,
I didn't hate,
and it happens pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it just opens the goddamn movie. I'm glad that it just opens the movie and it's out of the way.
Right.
But
I don't think there's anything in Scream 4 that's particularly scary, though. No. Even Scream 3 had 2 scenes that freaked the hell out of me, which is the dead mom at the window.
Oh, yeah.
And that was some scary shit when I was a kid. I mean, I don't know how old I was when that movie came out.
That's like the only like supernatural thing that occurs.
Yeah,
like,
I remember
her like nightmare of her mom.
Yeah, and then when she's like in the set, it's supposed to look like her bedroom, and the
that
sheet,
part was creepy. Yeah,
with the bloody sheet. Oh my god! And it came at her screaming, "Sydney!" You know, I would have jumped out the fucking window too.
Yeah.
The I will say, Stabathon in Scream 4 is just insane that they are having that when like there's a serial killer. I watched it. I'm like, this is the craziest shit.
Have you guys learned nothing? Like. This is not, and then you catch the title card. It says directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, I did. He directed Stab.
Yeah, the first Stab.
And then in this one, it's Ryan Johnson.
Oh, did he?
That was the thing. In this movie, it was like Stab 8, directed
by
Ryan Johnson.
So that does lean credence like the Star Wars thing.
Yeah, no, like that's the Star Wars like if it's any other fandom that's toxic that they're essentially taking to task almost directly. It is 100% Star Wars.
Yeah, I
just by including Ryan Johnson. Like,
I'd be afraid to be a part of that fandom. I've seen the Star Wars films and I like them, but I'm not like invested the way I am with horror films.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine. It takes that type of demanding level.
Yeah,
I love the Star Wars movies. I've seen all like the anime shows. Don't really love the new ones, but like it's what are you gonna do?
You're not getting angry on the internet and demanding they do certain things.
No. Just
more of Adam Driver's nipples, please. More.
Just more Adam Driver, please.
I mean, I have incognito mode for that.
Why do you have to go incognito, bro? It's 2022.
Hey, why don't they change the Ghostface costume? I just thought about that. I said nipples. And
they did in 4. Remember, there was like Scarecrow Ghostface mask.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the movie.
I know, but
it was merch.
That's because nobody in their right mind would want to. I don't think there's any need to change it though, is there?
Well, no. There's no need. But I'm wondering if that's ever come to like
Ghostface face tattoo would be very Gen Z.
Yeah,
I guess they did change it in the TV show. Yeah,
yeah. But I was thinking more like a suit of because like how Batman got nipples over time.
You just want Ghostface to have nipples?
Yeah, I was thinking Adam Driver nipples. Wait, Ghostface has nipples. What
if Ghostface's next costume just had a circle cut out and it was either nipples or breasts hanging out?
What if there's no mask, just Ghostface on the tits?
Yeah, right. The mouth.
Yeah.
God.
We are so that we're
tit face.
I did want to mention the TV show.
I don't have anything to add on this. I'll let you guys go.
You have never seen the TV show?
No, I've not.
It's pretty
Was it good? Really?
I have honestly. I'm with Yashar here. I have nothing to comment on the TV show.
Oh, come on.
You've seen it, I think,
not
right?
fair, and you know it because how many other TV shows, how many other horror movies have had TV shows that are even remotely watchable?
Chucky,
Hannibal. Well, not really. No.
Chucky is recent.
Okay, you mean prior to that?
Bates Motel.
That was still. I think that was
pretty good.
It was at the same time as Scream.
Oh, was it?
I think so. Scream was only on for like 2 or 3 seasons. It wasn't on that
3
long.
seasons.
Yeah, because I only saw the first one. That's why I'm saying I don't know all that much about it.
Scream was on for 2 seasons, and then they did like a movie, like a Halloween special.
But there was like a 3rd season, but it's like different. I don't know why.
It sure is.
You mean the Queen Latifah produced one?
The Queen Latifah one.
Oh, there was so much that they could have done. So much they could have done.
Yeah. That was the all African American Scream Resurrection,
which I was waiting for.
It should have been good.
It should have been done a long time ago. So that's fantastic that happened, but I don't know who was writing it.
I liked the show. I wish that the show had a satisfying conclusion because I believe it ended on a massive cliffhanger. But the redesigned mask for the show was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was creepy. It was very like Jason meets Ghostface.
Yeah, it was like a weird melty face Ghostface. I don't know how else to describe it other than like a human Ghostface.
Is it weird that I can?
It is weird.
Is it weird that you can show me any Ghostface mask and I can tell you which movie it's from, even though it's the same mask?
That is weird.
They kind of changed it in the most recent one a little bit, right?
Yeah, like the Scream 4 mask is really slick, like looking, whereas the other ones look a little more silicone rubbery. And there's even one that K&B did in the original that you can spot it in every now and then in this first Scream movie, but
is it the weird eyebrows one?
It's it's like really, really
puffed up around the eyes.
Yeah,
you see it when it turns around.
Yeah, I hate that mask.
And it smashes through the glass. That mask is fucking strange looking.
I hate that mask so much. And even the principal wears it for like a brief second, before he snatches it off. And it's not even technically like a full head pullover. It's just kind of like a blanket of some sort. I don't know. Every time I see that, I'm like, I hate it. Cut away now. Bring us like the actual ghost. And then Scream 2 Ghostface mask is my favorite.
So as we bring this episode to a close, Andrew, which of the Scream films, which one is your favorite now? Has it changed after watching Scream 5?
No, it's still the second one.
What about you, Yashar? Since you rewatched them so recently.
I would say 2 or 5, maybe. They're all very, very
about things. You know that, right?
No, I'm really bad at favorites. It gets kind of arbitrary because I'm just like, I honestly feel like 3 is clearly the worst one, but it's still good. And the rest to me are all of like very comparable quality. Where like someone could say I like 4 the most, or I like 1 the most, and I'm like, that's.
Would it be surprising for someone to say they like 4 the most though?
No, it's not because I actually really, really like 4.
Interesting.
4's really good.
I'm gonna rewatch 4.
It's just really enjoyable. It's not scary. Yeah. It's just really fun. So I think that's what I take away from Scream 4.
Yeah,
it takes some of the levity of 3, but adds like the violence of like that 3 was missing.
Yeah, I remember seeing it the week before my birthday in 2011. It came out April 15th. I remember watching it in theaters by myself and being like, "This was okay." But like a Scream movie coming out near your birthday should be more excited. Like you expect to be more excited because it's like, oh my god, my favorite franchise. I was like, it's okay.
It also set the standards for a lot of Scream fans. For the 10 years after, referring to him as Ghostface, and our obsession with Scream wasn't really referenced in the films. Like, obviously, them talking about fans of Stab is a reference to us being fans of Scream.
Right.
You know what I mean? And obviously, they're very self-aware. They're very aware that there's a huge fan base for Scream, the Scream films. So I think that's why I like Scream 4 the most is, they drop Ghostface constantly, talking about Ghostface and the fandom and going live and interactions. And, even that cinema club scene was pretty cool, seeing all the posters and whatnot.
Yeah. So I would say, probably 2 if I had to choose. But I mean, if you said you like the newest one the best, I think that's a valid thing. I definitely liked like Dewey's arc. It was like the most tragic thing I think I've seen in any of the Scream movies and affecting.
I agree. But I will go with 2 as my favorite movie as well. 2, there's just something about 2. I don't know what it is.
It's just good. The music too.
The music slaps so goddamn hard. It's the best of like late 90s, early 2000s, like kind of like pop punk music. Like there's I
love that.
Grungy. Yeah.
There's some Dave Matthews. There's a little
we even get a singing performance in a horror film.
Oh, Jerry O'Connell, that's right.
Yeah. Although I will say, I don't buy Mickey, when he's giving her he was going to be a doctor and he had a singing voice. It's like, no, he didn't. Let's not act like he could sing. That was bad. But we did like it.
That was bad. Yeah, no, Everclear is on that album.
Nice.
Yeah, Eels. That's the one. That's the one that has Your Lucky Day in Hell, which I think is probably my favorite song used in these movies. Even though Red Right Hand is like clearly up there, so much so that they like always include it in these fucking movies.
Yeah, it has to be there. But yeah, I always think of Scream 2, and then that little slash, and then that song comes on.
Whoa, yeah, fucking the Eels. Such a good song. I like the one that plays at the end when he's like, "Oh, well, I'll tell you one thing. It'll make a hell of a movie," and then that music starts, and I think the song's called "She Said."
That's what.
Oh God!
I thought you were gonna say the end of the first movie has a pretty good song too.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you were saying the end of the second movie.
Yeah.
Is it the same song?
No, I don't know what plays at the end of the first movie. What plays?
Am I thinking the end of the second movie then, not the end of the first movie, where it's like that really weird like.
The first one ends like where they just like walk out of the house.
Yeah. The second one, it's panning up, and it's like a really high like helicopter shot of Sydney walking through the campus.
Yeah, and you see the top of the buildings, and apparently Roman was supposed to see him like watching them.
What?
Well, I didn't know that.
Or it was either Roman or Stu. Yeah, the original was you were supposed to see the killer of the third movie like watching from the top as it ended, but they ended up not going with that.
And do you know
that would have been cool.
Do you know who we have to blame for most of these like things not happening? Kevin Williams.
Columbine.
Well,
yeah.
But Kevin Williamson also has this.
That got dark.
It actually is because of Columbine.
No, it's Columbine.
I'm aware.
Yeah,
it's why they toggle down the violence.
But Kevin Williamson has gone on record saying like, I don't like bringing characters back, like possibly from the dead, which is why Stu has never come back. So. I mean, it makes sense.
Well, he brought Dawson's Creek back for Scream 5.
Right.
That's dead.
I like that. That was great. Yeah.
Maybe that's why it has a special place in my heart. I love that movie. It with its imperfections, the obvious ones that are there. Also, it's the only one to have like a weird ending title card. Like, how like we have the Scream, it just shows the photo with like the white caption of whatever the name of the actor was. That was the only one that didn't do that, was the fourth one. I think I love you, so what am I so afraid of? That's the second one. Yeah. That's not the song I was talking about, by the way.
What's the first one? The first one, that shit's stuck in my head now. God. We are the dark children is the song in the first movie.
Why is the second one so good?
I don't know. The second one is better than the first one in a lot of ways. I'm sorry.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, that's great.
She's awesome.
Portia de Rossi, who I thought was the killer.
That would have been something.
Oh, that whole car scene, the crashing of
right.
The thing that goes through his head.
Yeah.
The pole.
Talk about tension, like having to climb over Ghostface. We can't see if he's awake or not. Like,
and Luke Wilson's in the movie. I'm not the killer, Sid.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. Luke Wilson as Billy Loomis is probably the best Billy Loomis.
And Sydney got what she wanted because they got Tori Spelling to play her.
Yeah. I don't know, probably be Tori Spelling.
Yeah, with my luck.
The only thing about 2 that sucks is that Randy dies. But like that felt,
But it was an impact, so it added to the film.
That's fair.
I just love, and the opening scene is fun. The movie theater and her vicious stabbing and amongst a bunch of ghost faces. Mm-hmm. What a way to go on screen.
Yeah, that second movie is real good.
They amped it up.
Yeah, and I like that in the second movie, they bait you into thinking it's going to be her boyfriend again.
Right. Or that Dewey died, because that was dramatic.
Oh, right.
And what a great way to do it, too, is she was on the other side of that soundproof glass.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing she could do, and she couldn't even hear him until he picked up the mic. By the way,
I guess there was a time in the second movie where, like, you also could have thought that the police chief was the killer, too.
Yeah, everyone, because he was creepy.
Played by, whatchamajiggy, right?
Oh.
The fucking David Arquette's dad.
Oh, you're talking about him.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Louis Arquette.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know that you thought he was the killer.
Why? Anybody could have been the killer, right?
Gail could have been she is vicious.
Yeah. Why not?
An opportunist. I can quote that movie all day. Don't even get me started.
I really like that second movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I see. That's what I would advise anybody if they didn't like any of the other Screams and haven't seen the second one. Give the second one a chance, because that's the one that stands like on its feet. It is completely cemented to me in the entire franchise as one of the best ones.
And it has fucking Pacey in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Joshua Jackson is in that fucking movie.
Yeah, misquoting Alien.
Yeah.
Or no, correctly quoting it.
He correctly quotes Alien, yeah.
And Randy's like, I believe the line is "Stay away from her, you bitch." It's like, no, actually, it was "Get away from her, you bitch."
And Timothy Oliphant, man, just a young babyface Timothy Oliphant, just like being completely crazy at the end of that movie. Just, it's gonna be great. Like, oh, that whole dialogue that he has at the end of the movie is so like blood curdling, because it's like Timothy Oliphant is just one of those actors who you just believe him when he's on screen. It's like, I just believe it, sure. And
also, how great was that finale with the props? You know, obviously,
that was good.
None of that was going to hurt Mrs. Loomis, but like it was disorienting. You know, to have all the lightning and all the props falling around her, she didn't know what the hell was going on. She used that to her advantage because she's a theater student, so she knew how all that shit worked. Yeah. Also, that one line where she whips out her chain. She said, well, you know, because Mickey's bragging about this shit with Billy. She said, well, you forgot one thing about Billy Loomis, and that's that I fucking killed him. So.
Yeah, that's right. God.
That's great.
That
movie's awesome.
We'll just pause this podcast. We'll go watch second movie.
Let's go watch it.
Let's go watch. Let's go stop talking about it. And let's go fucking watch it.
We should do our own audio commentary.
This is just a good movie. You guys like this movie? All right, let's just sit and watch it.
Say it every 2 seconds. God, this movie's good. Damn.
You guys know this is supposed to be a commentary, right? Yeah, but like, we just wanted to watch the movie, though. So Yashar, would you skip or watch Scream or Scream 5, depending on where you're coming at?
I would watch it 5 times.
Have you watched it 5 times?
No, but I did watch 5 Scream movies in the last 3 days. So
there you go. What about you, Andrew?
Yes, I've already seen it 3 times.
Oh, damn.
And each time is fun. I'm happy with it. I'm happy.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. And again, it's the. I might even venture a statement as to say it's the best of these kinds of movies that I've seen. Like, where it brings back legacy characters.
Requels.
Requel. It's the best requel that I've seen.
Yeah.
And it does the thing that Ghostbusters Afterlife didn't do, which was it integrates the original characters in a meaningful way, as opposed to just dumping them at the end of the movie and going, here you go. Yeah, here you go. So I like Scream 5 a lot. It did have some stake upping with Dewey dying, which I think was an inevitability. You bring back the legacy characters, somebody's got to die.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was great. It was a really good movie, and it was a lot of fun. And for someone who's a massive fan of Scream, I think they did right by the fans. Not that they have to, but they did.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the whole point, isn't it? We can point out that the fans are obnoxious, but we still have, respect. And so we're going to still make you happy. But stop giving us demands. Yeah.
Stop. They're not going to pander to those kinds of fans, which is okay. I mean, they still gave us brutal kills with a lot more blood and gore than any Scream movie has up until this point. Right. But sure. I think that was like the little bit of like the caving, right? Like, we'll give them what they want. We'll up the ante of how these killers kill. Right. Which I think makes sense, like, in this day and age. We don't need these, like, kind of, like, Tatum's death in the first movie, which is essentially cannot happen. There needs to be a little bit of realism injected into these movies. I mean, the way she dies makes no fucking sense. Zero. Zero sense.
You are correct. It does not. But I will say, as a child seeing that, I was so disturbed by garage doors.
Her squished head.
I just know. Oh my God, that was so freaky as a kid.
I mean, it's a great scene, but it makes zero sense.
Yeah, also just get out of the doggy door.
Yeah. Just as it lifts you off the ground and then squishes your head.
It's like the guy in Austin Powers.
Right.
With the rolling.
10 feet away. Bro, that thing cannot lift you off the ground. I mean, I get that they had to make it look like it, but...
Right.
Why not just have her get stabbed to death? Like, I just don't understand.
Hey, Tatum went out with a good fight, though.
She did. Fuck her!
Yeah.
Her lines in that movie.
At some point, she was enjoying that.
Yeah. So until the next time we're talking movies, Andrew, if people were looking for you on the internet for your online presence, where would people go to find you?
Everywhere under Andy Gnosis. That's GNOSIS.
Yeah, you have some new music out, right?
Yes, I do. I have an EP called Stardom out, 3-song EP. So if you want to check that out, that's what I do. That's what I do on the side.
That's your real job.
Yeah.
Not sitting here and chuckle fucking with me and Yashar about a horror movie.
The dream is Stardom. The reality is chuckle fucking with 2 horror fans.
chuckle fucking until you make it, and then it's like, hey, Andrew, you want to talk about horror movies?
Yeah.
I'm making horror movies now, motherfuckers.
I consider myself a bit of a chuckle fucker as well.
Right. Scream 7, directed by Andy Gnosis.
Ooh.
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 Ooh, see?
Ooh. I just sounded like, what's his name? Matthew Lillard.
Zoinks!
God. Matthew Lillard, his voice cracks me up. Like, the fact that he's just Shaggy now in everything.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
good
great.
For him.
Can you imagine being able to tell people that? I'm Shaggy.
Like, zoinks. Like, I hear his voice now doing Shaggy. I don't hear Casey Kasem anymore.
Right.
It's him doing his, like, stoner Shaggy, hyper stoner Shaggy.
Hey, that's the next movie then, is Halloween versus Ghostface.
Ugh.
Let's do it.
Michael Myers is just, like, talk about toxic fan bases.
Oh my God.
It's like toxicity at like writ large.
It sucks too, because I'm like a huge Halloween fan. The original Halloween is my favorite movie of all time. And just to know that this is the route it's gone, not the way the movies are being made, but the way that the fans are just pandering to this nonsense of self-entitlement.
Scream 5 is a better Halloween movie than Halloween Kills is.
It is. I'll give it that. But you know what? I'm just happy that they're making Halloween films.
That's so fair. Well, for now.
Yeah. So I'm just happy. But I will say I walked out going, well, the last one was better.
Right. Boy, wasn't it? And that's not saying much. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the 2018 one. Like, really enjoyed it. But it's because it felt like I was watching Halloween 1978.
Yeah. And this movie, I think the biggest success is it feels like I'm watching an original Scream movie.
Yeah. Yeah, because it has everything that we like about the original while still bringing something brand new to the table.
Exactly. So, Yashar, what about yourself? Is there anywhere that people could find you on the internet if you so choose for them to?
My Instagram is @Pirasteh, which is my just my first initial, my last name. But I don't post much. So
great.
I don't know.
You're an adult like the rest of us. Why would you need to post on social media?
He's afraid Ghostface is going to find him.
Right.
Exactly.
He's going to come hunt you down.
You've only seen my movie 5 times.
Yeah, right. Why not make it 10?
You chuckle fuck.
Yeah. And as for me, cstachiw.com, cstachiw.com. That's my link tree. Go there for my other stuff. I work on a lot of podcasts, and this just happens to be one of them, the one that you're listening to now. So yeah, that's where you can go. Andrew, Yashar, thank you for joining me for some Scream talk. I don't know if this will be the last time the three of us talk. I doubt it. We'll see. Andrew and I haven't gotten to do a post-mortem yet about this. But yeah, make sure to check out the next episode.